All right, what does
Yeah.
Christmas mean to you?
Christmas. It always means to me the time for family. Like my friend used to say, Filipinos celebrate Christmas like we invented it, which is pretty close to the truth. And as I've grown older, more and more it's really about kids. It's really about the children. And if the kids aren't enjoying Christmas, there's something wrong. It's for the kids to sort of really live out their little fantasies every year.
Okay, a little bit of a curveball.
Okay.
What is the biggest disconnect between the way your detractors remember your dad and how you remember your dad?
It's very simple. The way they characterize him as a person. Of course, it's inevitable that the son will see a side to a father that nobody else sees, but that nevertheless is part of what he was, and somehow our detractors, the people that are against the family, my father particularly, choose to ignore the other aspects. So it is a very incomplete and actually in many cases just an erroneous and completely invented version of my father that they try to put forward. So, but I guess, it's understandable. It's political propaganda. It's not about facts. It's not about reality. It's about whatever message of the day to further the cause of anti-Marcos sentiment.
And in spite of what happened to your dad towards the end of his presidency, you decided to get into politics yourself. For what reason?
I don't know that I decided. I think that I sort of ended up there because I've said this 1,000 times. I was studiously avoiding politics. When I was in my 20s, I said, I really, really do not want to enter politics. But the way things turned out, circumstances being what they are, when we returned from the United States, after the exile in the United States, that was the thing that needed to be attended to, was the political aspect of our lives. And so from then on, I just kept going.
To protect your family?
Yeah, that was the only way.
That's great, by the way. Your Christmas during your childhood with the former president Ferdinand Marcos.
Yeah.
Can you describe how that was like? What are your fondest memories with him?
Yeah, I was thinking about that before coming here. I have lots of very fun Christmas memories, but not in particular with my dad. It's pretty sad actually, because my dad was always very busy. Christmas was a very, very busy time for my family because of the commitments that had to be made. I mean, Christmas time is a very important time for Filipinos, and you are expected to participate in all of these events. So there was very little time actually for the family. What I do remember when I was thinking about this was that every year we had a Maligayang Pasko celebration in the palace, where we would invite kids, all orphans, people who didn't have families, to provide their own Christmas. And it was the whole day would be in the palace. There would be magic shows. It's like a carnival in the palace, and then we'd give presents to these kids, and that we did as a family all together. And that I always remember that, because when you see these kids' faces, first you start off. These kids are not going to have a Christmas. They don't have a family. They don't have, their parents are gone. They don't have relatives who are looking after them. So they're in some home somewhere. They won't really have a proper Christmas. And then they come, and the faces, the ice cream on one side, candy on the other, and then watching this magic show, and then the smiles on these people's face, and the smile that when you give them, and the presents, just little normal. I'm starting to get misty thinking about it, because it really was. That was great fun. That was great fun. I made lots of new friends every year with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the great part of Christmas for me.
That's awesome. Okay, what is the greatest thing your dad ever taught you?
My dad ever taught me?
Life lesson.
There's so many. I suppose in what he always said is the one thing that you need if you're going to enter public life is patience. I always said that doesn't make any sense, because you have to be kind of pushy and he says no, you work very hard for what you want, But understand that you have to let things develop. You cannot, there are certain aspects to public life that cannot be forced, cannot be hurried. And you have to wait for people sometimes to catch up to what you're trying to do. And you have to be patient. But it's usually well rewarded. Patience is usually well rewarded. So that was something that for me was a little bit out of left field, because I thought that's contrary to, I should push, you should, really force the issue. And then for him, and he was very, very aggressive and very, very hands-on. But his advice was patience. Strangely enough, over the years, he was right. He was right.
Are there character traits that don't involve the professional life? What is the best personal character trait that he etched upon your spirit?
Oh, he says, be a man. And what does that mean? We are men. And men, we are not like women where you can be beautiful and you can be charming and you can be sweet. We have to have, the only thing we have is our word. And if you lose that, you are no longer a man. And that was his definition. And that I've lived by that. And I've tried to teach that to my sons. And I think it is a valuable, valuable lesson.
We grow older in life. Our priorities shift from our accomplishments and our achievements towards our legacy. So how do you want, two things, how do you want the people to remember Bongbong Marcos, and how do you want your kids to remember you?
I'll answer that question on its head. My greatest fear, and as it has been since I was quite young, was that I lived on this earth and died and didn't make a difference, and nobody cared, and so what? So he was around, he's gone, so what? But you have to be able to, at the end of the day, to say, well, I tried and I succeeded, and I managed to do some things. I managed to help some people. I managed to change things, make things better. That for me is the most important thing. And again, that reflects that same attitude, that you cannot be thinking of yourself all the time, because if that's all you do, at the end of your life you'll say, well, I made myself happy. That's nothing. I made lots and lots of people happy. I made their lives better. I changed from miserable existence to something that has hope, something that has a future. There's a life.